The Athletic Exchange podcast is partnered with Fiverr. If you are a freelance business owner, look no further than Fiverr. Whether you're a graphic designer, programmer, content writer, translator, or voiceover artist, Fiverr is the place for you. If you are seeking more clientele or just simply looking to grow your business, Fiverr's array of plans will provide you with the proper tools that fit your business. To find out more, click the special Athletic Exchange podcast link in the description down below and on all of our social media platforms. Now here are Isaiah and Oliver with this week's Sports World Debates.
Alrighty. Mr. Oliver Mintz, my co-host, is having some technical difficulties here. But there
I'm
he
alive.
goes right there. He's back. He's back. The man, the myth, and the legend.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Keep going.
All right. I was waiting for the dramatic effect of you popping up, and I was like, whoa.
Anyways, welcome back. We're on episode 18 of the Athletic Exchange podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching live, if you're listening to this at a later date on your drive, on your workout, whatever it may be, podcast. So today, pretty simple. This is kind of a weird spot in the sports calendar, I guess you could say. We have the NBA going on. The NFL isn't in season anymore, but we do have March Madness starting in a week or so. So that's always a fun event, and we'll probably go over that once the time comes next week. But today is pretty straightforward. We had a NFL free agency period that started, and I'm not sure if it's over. Isaiah, is it over yet?
No,
or is
not
it
at
still
all.
in season for free agent? Okay, so we still got some time, but most of the big moves that we are going to discuss have been made already. All the big names that were out on the market are on new teams or re-signed with new teams or with their old teams. So
Unless you're
we're going to
Justin
discuss
Fields.
those, and then unless you're Justin Fields, it's a very sad situation, but we'll talk about that too. And then we'll go into NBA headlines if time permits, and then we'll end the podcast. So pretty straightforward today. Isaiah, how are you doing though, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Got off of work, went for a nice little 2-mile run like I do every day. Trying to after I get done with this cardio season I'm in, I'm gonna try to bulk up and try to get some gains. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get these twigs up like logs. Trying to get some gains up. But other than that, man, I've been chilling. I've been enjoying free agency. I've been enjoying watching Wemby since I've had my full focus devoted now on basketball. Now that the NFL season is over, so I'm doing pretty good, man. Hello? Okay. Well, if you guys are watching live, Mr. Mintz seems to be having some more technical difficulties. He seems to be recording the pod at his local McDonald's. Um, we all know that McDonald's has very poor Wi-Fi, and it seems to be that Mr. Mintz is live recording at McDonald's. Hopefully, he can get that figured out soon. Anyways, before we get into what we're going to get into tonight, I do want to answer a question that was sent in by Instagram handle soup.ey. And they wanted us to talk about something specific on the pod and answer a question that they had. And the question, the question reads like this. What has Joe Burrow done that Brock Purdy hasn't? Both have had crazy receiving cores, with the Niners admittedly having a better defense. But still, they hold Joe Burrow as a top 3 quarterback, while Brock is fringe top 10. Great question by soup.ey on Instagram. I know you probably thought you were cooking with this question. I know you probably thought you were cooking. You were cooking something up and you were going to get either myself or Oliver in a corner, but I actually I'm going to shred this question cuz you're clearly a 49ers fan. First of all, let's go over this. Let's go over this. So, you got Joe Burrow, right? Number 1 overall pick out of LSU. Prodigy. Everybody knew he was going to be great. Everybody knew he had the maturity. People were like, "Oh man, he's old. He's old. He's old." Even now, he's pretty old and is going to go into his 4th NFL season, I think. He's only a couple days younger than Patrick Mahomes, I think, or I think it's Lamar. Either way, he's pretty old for somebody that hasn't been in the league that long. And you got Brock Purdy, Mr. Relevant, last pick of the draft. So, I'm pretty sure you're a smart dude and you know how football works, but usually if you have the top pick of the draft, unless you traded that away the previous year, you're not a good team. And that was the case with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were getting clowned over and over and over again for making the playoffs and getting destroyed or not making the playoffs. And everybody knew that Marvin Lewis was getting clowned. Andy Dalton couldn't do anything there. The best they had was when Carson Palmer was there. They were a laughing stock. Very, very bad. Can never thrive, truly thrive, have great success, had plenty of good players go through Cincinnati, but can never thrive. Meanwhile, San Francisco has always kind of been teetering on the edge of being good or great every year. Now, the Cowboys get a lot of hate for not winning a Super Bowl in so long, but the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl in just as long, if not longer, than the Cowboys. So I don't understand why the Cowboys get the hate, but not the 49ers, but that's another story for another day. Regardless, the point I'm trying to make here with Burrow is that while they both technically have done the same thing in terms of literally they've both made it to the Super Bowl and they've both lost in the Super Bowl, here's the difference. Brock was drafted to a very talented San Francisco team, right? Super talented. And he had a lot of great talent. Kittle, Purdy. I think Kendrick Bourne was on the team when he got drafted. McCaffrey this year, but the year before was still McCaffrey, but the year before that, he still had a good running back. I think it was Mostert and Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. They're now the Miami backs. Needless to say, they had some talent. And they were really, really good. And the reason that they have the last pick in the draft is because they're one of the more talented teams. So think about drafting a quarterback, any quarterback, and giving them that roster. They're going to be able to do anything with it. And everybody can say, oh, well, you still got to make the throws. You still got to make the throws. It doesn't matter because you could put any quarterback down there, and they would make those throws to those receivers in that open space with that play caller and Kyle Shanahan. So that's one thing. So when you're comparing what Joe Burrow did, I know he got injured his first year, but after that, he led his team to the playoffs. Are we being for real? And actually, he led his team to the Super Bowl in his second year. So did Purdy. I understand that, but you got to understand supporting cast is different. And let's not also forget that Joe Burrow has beaten Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Brock Purdy has not beaten Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. To beat somebody who's considered in the GOAT conversation, that's a big deal. So you got Burrow beating out Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, but let's not also forget, or let's not forget as well, that Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes 3 times in a row, twice in the playoffs, including the regular season. So this is not like, it's not even comparable to me. And Joe Burrow took a roster. It was him and Jamar Chase and a bag of chips, basically, that first year. I mean, he had T. Higgins. We didn't know he was a star yet. Tyler Boyd, we didn't know he was a star yet. But he comes onto the scene and takes this poverty franchise to the freaking Super Bowl and beats Patrick Mahomes to do it. There's only one other quarterback that's beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, and we know who that is. Gotta respect the GOAT. Anyways, that's basically my point. Burrow took a poverty franchise and made him great and respectable in a very hard division, and Purdy just fit right in. I mean, if anything, people would be like, "Oh, Purdy should be doing more with this roster." But at the end of the day, you could put a lot of people behind center and have Trent Williams blocking for you, Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey running jet sweeps or pitches or halfback cracks out the backfield, and George Kittle blocking for you and being open down the middle of the field while you got Brandon Ayuk running crazy routes. Oh, not to mention Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bosa, Chase Young on defense. Like, let's be serious now. Like, it's not even comparable. Joe Burrow elevates his team while the team elevates Brock Purdy when it comes to San Francisco and Brock Purdy. So, yeah, that's just my answer for that question. What Joe Burrow has done is way more impressive, especially considering the AFC is way more stronger than the NFC is right now. So, I know you thought you were cooking with that question, but unfortunately, I pretty much squashed all hope you had in Brock Purdy. So there's that. How you doing, Oliver? Welcome back.
Hey, I am I have no idea. Like, my computer is just like crashing, and I have no idea what, like right when we started recording, it just stopped. So
Are you in McDonald's right now?
dude, no, I'm in my own home, bro. I'm in my own
Better
home.
internet.
But
Anyways,
yeah, I'm on my phone. I'm gonna see if I can get this backing up on my computer, and if I do, I'll leave and then rejoin. But right now, I'm gonna rock with the phone. So
okay. Well, just to let you know, I just answered a question that somebody. You remember when we posted that story? Said if you have any questions, ask us. What we want to talk about on the pod.
yeah,
Somebody asked. I don't know if you saw it on our DMs. They said, question: what has Joe Burrow done that Brock Purdy hasn't? Both have had crazy receiving cores, with the Niners admittedly having a better defense, but still they hold Joe Burrow as a top 3 quarterback while they hold Brock as a fringe top 10. Did you hear that?
yep,
So I just basically said Joe Burrow was the number 1 pick, was drafted to a terrible roster, and he took them to the Super Bowl in his first healthy year. With not that great of a supporting cast and not that great of a defense. And Brock, if you're the last pick in the draft, that means that whoever has the last pick is typically a very, very good team with a great roster around him. And the NFC is way softer. And Purdy hasn't beat Mahomes, and Joe Burrow has beat Mahomes 3 times, including the AFC Championship. So I think that's why we hold Joe Burrow as like, oh, he's so good, is because he's beaten Mahomes and he's made it to the Super Bowl. And it took the greatest defensive player of all time to stop Joe Burrow. I mean, if we're being real, in Aaron Donald. So that was my thoughts. I don't know if you want to add anything or if you just want to move on, but I don't think it's even comparable. I think people know that Joe Burrow is a game changer. Like, people know that, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I can see where he's coming from there. It's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I've made the argument the whole year that Brock Purdy was carried by his roster, and we saw that in the Super Bowl. So, and we clearly saw that defense was obviously something different, something that we've never seen before. So, and then the offensive weapons are just ridiculous. Joe Burrow took a bunch of Joes, not no pun intended, to the Super Bowl. He that year they were not at all. I think they were a wild card team. They didn't even win the division, did they? I mean, that year that they went to the Super Bowl was pretty improbable.
And they
Actually
beat the Titans in the playoffs, and while Burrow got sacked 9 times, the most out of any quarterback in any playoff game. Got sacked 9 times and they won the game.
Yep. And yeah, they could have easily won that game. So it's I think it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm not buying that. Not buying that. Trying to rope us in
I'm
there.
not either. Yeah.
Hold on,
All
Isaiah.
right.
I'm gonna try to come back in on my computer. Hold on. I'm hanging up.
All right. So while Oliver's doing that, just to go over what we're gonna be talking about today. We have NFL free agency, NBA updates, and all-time KD teammates draft, maybe. But obviously, we know that free agency has been very, very busy. A lot of crazy deals have gotten done. A lot of players that we were looking forward to hearing about when the season ended. Question marks on if they were going to stay with their teams. And we have a lot to talk about. So, Oliver, if you'd like, I'm going to, instead of doing this player by player, I think we should do it team by team. Like the big, so I'll give you a team and I'll give you their major free agency signings that they've had, and you give me your quick thoughts, anything that sticks out to you, about either the price of the deal, if they overpaid, underpaid, if it makes a difference for that team, etc. How does that sound?
It's good with me. Let's roll.
All right, so we're gonna start in the AFC East. I'm going to give you a rundown of what your team, the Buffalo Bills, have done since the season ended. Okay, they signed Mitchell Trubisky. They brought him back, 2-year, $5.5 million deal with 2.7 in incentives. They brought back Deion Dawkins on a 3-year, $60 million extension. They brought back offensive guard David Edwards. They brought back AJ Epinesa on a 2-year deal worth $20 million. They brought back Daquan Jones, 2 years, $16 million with 10 guaranteed. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow, cornerback Cam Lewis, safety Taylor Rapp re-signed to a 3-year contract. They also restructured Von Miller's contract, and they let go of Micah Hyde was already an impending free agent, but they let go and cut Jordan Poyer. They also let go of Trey White. What are your thoughts? What does this mean for the Buffalo Bills going forward? Not just this year, but the upcoming years. Is this a culture change in Buffalo? Are they desperate? Are they doing things the right way? Did they just have to do this because they were over the cap? Tell me what you're thinking, Mr. Buffalo.
Well, my first thoughts were we were 40 million over the cap, and we cut players that were old and their careers were kind of coming to an end. Jordan Poyer had hinted at retirement for at least the past couple years. So the Poyer cut kind of made me a little upset just because he's talented, and he's a pro. He's obviously an all-pro safety, but you can tell at times there have been instances where he hasn't been the same Jordan Poyer that we once knew. There have been certain plays where he's gotten smoked, certain plays he's misread, and unfortunately, that's just how the NFL works. It's a business. So the Poyer one was really the one that upset me the most. Trey White, I get it. That makes sense. He's had an ACL tear. I think he's torn both ACLs, if I'm not mistaken. Coming off an Achilles tear as well.
EFG, elemental P.
Bro, he's torn everything. So he can't sustain himself for a whole season. It's been proven, at least for the past 3 years, that he can't. So I can see, I understand that move. Micah Hyde was already a free agent. We kind of expected him to be out the door. And all the other cuts, I'm not like, I didn't see a problem to them, and they weren't like game changers. The only game changers I saw were Trey White and Jordan Poyer, but both of those guys were old, and in Trey White's case, he was hurt pretty much all the time. So I'm a little upset, but I'm not losing my mind. We're still contenders in my mind. As long as we have Josh Allen, we're still going to be up there at the top of the AFC. So, and we still have Diggs. Diggs isn't going anywhere. I've seen reports that he's not leaving. And we still have Khalil Shakir. We still have Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, all these
Matt
guys.
Collins.
Oh yeah, Mac. Yes, special team specialist, I might add. And who am I missing? James Cook, not to mention, who had an outstanding year for what his standards were last year. So and then our defense, dude, it's still rock solid. We're gonna get Mac Milano back. We have Terrell Bernard. We have Teron Johnson. We have Greg Rousseau. We have Ed Oliver. And if Von Miller, if he stills, did you just say DeMar Hamlin, bro? Let's stop. and Von Miller, if he can get back somewhat of his I guess explosiveness, then that defense is still going to be solid. And now we have an actual defensive coordinator, so I'm not losing my mind. Bobby Babich, as we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Okay, so two last questions on the Buffalo Bills, and we'll spend a little longer time on them since they're your team. Give us a grade, A through F, of what you think so far. I know there's plenty more dominoes to fall, but as if you were to see how they set the tone with free agency starting, give them a grade, and then have they gotten better or worse?
I'd say like
roster-wise.
I'd say based off the moves we've made, we've cleared up a ton of cap space. We've gotten rid of some older players, and honestly, I think Bean is just taking the mindset of, well, I'm done being complacent, which is fine because every year we're losing to the damn Chiefs. So if he wants to do this to make some improvements, because obviously this roster can't beat the Chiefs and when it matters for some reason, I don't mind the moves. But if I had to put a letter grade on it, I'd probably say like a C plus, maybe. Because there hasn't been like a big splash, so I can't really put it into a B or an A. Mm-hmm. But just the fact that he's cleared up all that cap space, and now we have like $20 million in cap space. It's a great kind of business move on his end, but there's no splash, so I can't really say.
You know how much the Patriots have in cap space?
Dude, I don't know.
$100 million.
And they can't sign a player?
Hey, don't get me started on that. We'll get to that. I'll ask.
Actually, no, I want to go into that.
Okay, ask me.
What are your thoughts on Mac Jones getting traded to the Jaguars?
Fuck him. Fuck Mac Jones. I'm a Patriots fan, and I will always be a Patriots fan. Mac Jones, you're dead to me now. You are no longer on the Patriots. Legitimately, I do not care about Mac Jones anymore at all. And I know people will be like, "Oh, Isaiah, you're such the biggest Brady fan. You're such a glazer. You're literally like a Krispy Kreme glazed donut when it comes to Tom Brady." Blah 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 blah. I get it. Maybe if Mac Jones had won 6 Super Bowls with us, maybe I would feel a different way about Mac Jones. But he did not, and he underperformed. And let me say this about Mac. Mac arguably had the best rookie season out of all the quarterbacks that got drafted that year, including the Prince, Trevor Lawrence, including Justin Fields, including Trey Lance, including Zach Wilson. That entire draft, Mac had the best season. He made the Pro Bowl, albeit it's because Josh Allen declined to go because he was too mad pissing in his oatmeal because he lost in the playoffs against Joe Shiesty. But that's another story for another day. Mac had a really good year with a good offensive coordinator and continuity. And I heard Dan Orlovsky say this about the Patriots. If you want a perfect example of how to ruin a young quarterback, look no further than Bill Belichick and what he did by bringing in Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Dan Patricia and Joe Judge to call plays for a second-year quarterback. From that moment on, it was doomed. I mean, Mac's not an elevator by any means. He doesn't like change games, but he's more than a game manager. I felt like he made some plays, but when you have a coach who's so cocky and he does that, um, it's just it's not good. And they ruined him. So hopefully he'll get to learn behind Trevor. Well, I don't know, because Trevor um hasn't been playing good at all. So we'll see how that turns out. Because you have people out there saying that Trevor Lawrence is at risk of losing his job. So that's not good. But nonetheless, let's go over the Patriots free agency moves that they've made so far. Clearly, they traded Mac Jones away. They signed quarterback Jacoby Brissett to a 1-year, $8 million deal. They re-signed third-string quarterback Nathan Rourke. They signed Antonio Gibson, who was a free agent that most recently played for the Washington Redskins. Kendrick Bourne re-signed to a 3-year, $20 million deal. They re-signed Jalen Reagor. God, so stupid. They got Hunter Henry back. I'm happy about that. They got Austin Hooper off the Cleveland Browns. Offensive lineman Tyrone Wheatley from the Cleveland Browns. OT Chukwuma Okorafor. I don't even know what team he was on before, but they got him. Michael Wenu re-signed Anthony Jennings, re-signed Josh Uche. So happy that we got him back. A beast, second in the team in sacks. Signed linebacker Christian Ellis, I don't know who that is, and signed linebacker Sione Takitaki from the Browns. And re-signed, gave the franchise tag to Kyle Duggar. We noticed there's a pattern here with the Cleveland Browns, don't we, Oliver? I wonder why we're signing so many Browns players. Do you have any idea why?
Sorry, I was muted. Probably because the Stefanski effect is what I would imagine. I don't know.
Maybe.
What are you going on with his?
Well, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots is Alex Van Pelt, who was offensive coordinator in Cleveland last year.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So we're gonna try. So it's just another McDaniels. McDaniels goes to the Raiders and he brings all the Patriots with him. He brings Jack Jones just went over there, but Jakob Johnson, Jacoby Myers, just brings all these Patriots to another team thinking they're going to be the same, and they're not. See what happens, but obviously, honestly, Oliver, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with what the Patriots have done. And I'm really pissed off that they refused to name a GM. And it's so annoying because I was so looking forward to Bill being gone and us naming an actual GM. There's a guy playing GM right now. His name is Elliot Wolf. And rumor has it that after this draft, and Wolf, who's the president of player operations or whatever, and he goes through this draft and makes his picks, after that, they're going to choose a GM. Which is so stupid because this new GM that's going to start the new era in New England is not going to get to have started his own team with his own picks. So I'm assuming that Wolf is basically covering up for Kraft, and Kraft might want to play a Jerry for once in his career. And Kraft might want to make the picks, but use Wolf as the person to get credit for it before they either name him the GM or name somebody else the GM. But it's a pretty sorry-ass free agency, if we're being completely honest. Jalen Reagor, I mean, get him the fuck off my team. Nathan Rourke, don't even know who he is. Never seen him play. Antonio Gibson, solid. It looks like we're signing a bunch of old running backs in Ezekiel Elliott and Antonio Gibson. Give me a break. Let me read you this tweet that I saw today that had me dying. Do you know who Matthew Judon is?
Yeah, of course. Oh, I think I saw this.
So
For
you guys that haven't seen, there's this guy that I follow on Twitter. So I opened my Twitter. I don't know if it's mirrored. Yeah, it's not going to show correctly. Does it show correctly for you?
I think it does, yeah.
So it's not backwards on your camera?
No, I'm reading it pretty straightforward, I think.
Okay, so yeah. So this basically says, this is a screenshot. So I just opened Twitter, and Matthew Judon saying that he was talking to T. Higgins. Then this Patriots fan, he said, once I seen Judon tweeting at them MFs, I know it's a lost cause. Because every time Matthew Judon tweets at a free agent and wants them to come to the Patriots, they don't ever come. So Ridley, we lost out on Ridley. We'll get to Ridley soon, but how dumb can you be, man? I mean, he's going to be betting the under every game once he gets to Tennessee for himself. Anyways, I'm not happy with the Patriots, Oliver. I want Jaden Daniels. That's all I want. I want one of two things to happen. One, we draft Jaden Daniels, and we get a decent wide receiver in the draft. Two, we do not draft Jaden Daniels, and we trade the number 3 pick for somebody who needs a quarterback for a really, really good wide receiver. And Justin Fields. So Justin Fields and a really good receiver. Those are one of the two things I want to happen. If we somehow get Marvin Harrison Jr., that'd be great too. But I don't know. I really am a big fan of Justin Fields, and I want him to come to the Patriots now that there's no obvious starting job for him anywhere. But that's how I feel about my Patriots, man. So what a failure. It's a poverty franchise.
It's rough. It's rough going for you guys right now.
So stupid. At least I'm not the Dallas Cowboys. Boy, they look stupid right now.
I mean, they made the playoffs, so. But we could talk about the Cowboys and how they have done absolutely nothing. Probably, I think I saw something the other day, or was it yesterday, that 31 teams made a move in free agency. The only one that didn't do anything was the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, they re-signed their long snapper.
Oh God, that is that's a world stopper right there, buddy.
Boys.
Going to the bowl.
Well, they actually, a couple minutes ago, Oliver, they did make their first big splash. They actually stole Eric Kendricks away from the 49ers.
Well, that's actually not bad.
He's
good for the Cowboys. I'm proud of them.
Trash. He's not better than any of the linebackers they already have there. He's not better than Vander Esch and not better than Parsons. All right, let me ask you about the Jets, Oliver. Jets, they signed quarterback. They signed quarterback Tyrod Taylor as their backup in case Aaron Rodgers leaves middle of the season to go run for office with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Signed OT Morgan Moses from Baltimore. Signed offensive lineman John Simpson, cornerback Isaiah Oliver. Re-signed their kicker Greg Zuerlein and re-signed punter Thomas Morstead. And that's about it.
I mean, Tyrod Taylor seems to be the biggest move there. I'm not entirely sure.
Though, because people were clamoring for them to have a veteran quarterback with that amazing roster they have. So that's a good move in my opinion.
Yep.
All right. Miami Dolphins. This is who I wanted to ask you about. Re-signed Robert Jones, offensive lineman. Signed tight end Jonnu Smith, speedster, very powerful tight end. Signed center Aaron Brewer, defensive lineman Neville Gallimore. Signed Shaq Barrett from Tampa Bay. I think that's crucial. Linebacker Jordan Brooks, linebacker Anthony Walker, cornerback Nick Needham, safety from Buffalo, New York, Jordan Poyer, and DB Saron Nil. What do you think about Miami and the moves that they've made, particularly Shaq Barrett, Jonnu Smith, Jordan Poyer? Is that key for them?
I mean, yeah, but they also lost their best defensive player. They lost Christian Wilkins. That was huge.
Yeah, they lost him. They cut Xavier Howard too.
They did cut Xavier as well. So I guess Shaq is a very solid player.
Christian Wilkins, I love him.
Yeah, and I mean he's such a great player. He's pretty much irreplaceable at this point. It's you can't really replace a guy like that. But Shaq Barrett's not a bad guy to fill in that slot. And Jordan's a great player, as I said earlier. He's definitely worth paying, but he's old and he's talked about retirement. So I don't know what, I guess they're going all in with him with the hopes that they can go to, the Super Bowl or whatever. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing here.
Rumor has it that Jordan Poyer actually was down in Costa Rica with Aaron Rodgers, and they were partaking in some ayahuasca. They were cleansing their souls and taking some ayahuasca together. So maybe Aaron Rodgers is having a direct effect on his interdivision rival Jordan Poyer.
I mean, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Baltimore.
We'll
Let's
see.
run through these so we can get through all this free agency stuff. Signed running back Derrick Henry to a 2-year, $16 million contract. Signed Nelson Aguilar. Originally franchise tagged Justin Madubuike, but then actually got a deal done. 4-year, $98 million contract, which is such an overpay if you ask me. 4 years, $100 million. Are you kidding me? That is so stupid for a defensive lineman. That is like ridiculous. And wait to hear what Calvin Ridley got. Oh my God. And linebacker Malik Harrison. They also let go of Patrick Queen and they let go of Geno Stone. Well, they didn't let go of them. They were already free agents, Patrick Queen and Geno Stone. So 2 huge losses for them. And they're clearly going to part with Odell because Odell's a free agent and they haven't re-signed him. So what do you think of that? Tell me your thoughts on what you think is happening in Baltimore, Oliver.
I'm not gonna lie. I had to hop out. I don't know why this thing is just deciding to be like wonky with me. But what did the Ravens do again? They signed Derrick Henry. I know that.
Signed Derrick
But
Henry, re-signed Aguilar, signed Justin Madubuike to a 4-year, $98 million contract after they originally franchise tagged him, and signed linebacker Malik Harrison and let go of Geno Stone. Or Geno Stone is a departure, and Patrick Queen is a departure.
that's big. Losing Patrick Queen, I think, is huge.
Huge.
But
and he went to the Steelers.
In division, that's rough. But
already good defense. Oh my God, Watt, Highsmith, and Queen with Minka.
Yeah.
Oh my, and Joey Porter. Oh my God, dude. And they just got Dante Jackson from Carolina. Oh my God, defense is gonna be. That might be the best defense in the division this year, upcoming year.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it for sure. But I mean, Derrick Henry's pretty big. But the thing is, what role does Lamar play now? Is he gonna like throw the ball, or is he gonna run the ball, or I don't know.
RB2.
Like what?
He's RB2.
Yeah, I mean that's what it feels like at this point with the Ravens. Like you just don't like Lamar, the reigning MVP, being paired with probably, arguably, second, third best running back in the league. You can't. Like, I don't know how that works within that offense. I guess they're just going to be run heavy the whole year, which could work. You have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
They need to be, yes.
Yeah. They're going all in with that kind of style, which is fine. But I just don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But
give them a grade.
I like that move, though. I do like that move.
Give them a grade.
Probably a B minus. Let's go B minus.
Wow, that's what I think.
That's where I'll go.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, too. All right, Cincinnati. I kind of like what Cincinnati has done so far, man. If we're being honest, here we go. They signed running back Zach Moss, who had a breakout year in Indianapolis last year when JT was out, to a 2-year, $8 million contract. I think that's an absolute steal. Tagged T. Higgins. We know he wants to trade. I think ultimately they're not going to trade T. Higgins this year. They might trade him in the middle of the season or after next season, but he's too valuable. And I think once they get on the field and Joe Burrow's healthy and he sees how successful they're going to be, I think they'll probably be able to get a deal done and they'll part ways with someone like Tyler Boyd and not T. Higgins. Signed tight end Mike Gesicki, the gritty master. Re-signed tight end Drew Sample. Re-signed offensive guard Cody Ford. Re-signed linebacker Akeem Davis-Gaither. And signed safety Geno Stone from Baltimore. So a lot of interdivision moves in the AFC North. So interesting. But they let go of my boy from the Oklahoma Sooners, Joe Mixon. What do you think about the Cincinnati's free agency so far?
I don't dislike it, but I have a feeling that this T. Higgins thing is going to linger in some form or fashion. Either he doesn't show up for OTAs or whatever it might be. I think if they let that T. Higgins thing linger for a long while, then it's going to be tough. But I do like most of the other moves they made. Mike Gesicki's not a bad pickup. Joe Mixon might hurt. It might hurt, but Zach Moss, like you said, is a great player. He had a great year last year with Indianapolis. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. But like I said, I think they need to trade T. Higgins like today. I'm not entirely sure what they're thinking with that, but they can get some great compensation for T. Higgins right now. And his market is hot. Like there's a lot of teams that want him. And I know he mentioned there was a couple quarterbacks that he wanted to play with. I can't remember who it was. It was I think it was Josh Allen was one of them. And then who were the other two? He mentioned two other ones, I think.
I think
Do you
Stroud.
remember? Was it CJ Stroud? Yeah, that's right. That's right. And there was another quarterback he mentioned. But like I said, there are going to be teams that want T. Higgins to fill in that wide receiver 2 spot. So I don't know.
Wide
If I had to
receiver two?
grade it, yeah.
He's
He ain't no wide receiver 1.
Whoa.
No, he is not.
Wow.
No, he is not,
T. Higgins
bro.
is not a 1? Are you kidding me?
No. Okay. Is T.
How much
Higgins
you
as a
wanna bet he's gonna
1?
get paid like a 1? How much you want to get? You want to bet he's gonna
He
get paid like
probably
a 1?
will. He probably will, which is
He's a
insane to
1
me.
receiver. He has Jamar Chase.
No,
on the
he's
team.
not.
They have 2 1s.
No, he's not.
Cincinnati has 2 1s.
Okay, do you think Kyler Murray with T. Higgins as a wide receiver 1 is going to win a Super Bowl? No,
Not
no.
because of T. Higgins, because of Kyler Murray.
Because of Kyler Murray? Bro. Oh my God.
He's a
No,
bad
he is
decision maker.
not. Like, he's very talented. He is very talented. Like, no doubt. But no, by no means is he a lead wide receiver on any team.
Oh my God. He's not a lead wide receiver with New England.
Okay, yeah, but who does New England have, bro? New England is still ain't going nowhere with
Jones, Mario
Bro,
Douglas.
Kendrick Bowl. Oh my God, Demario Douglas,
got rid of
game
Devontae
changer,
Parker. We also got rid of
world
Devontae
shifter.
Okay, I give
Oh my
Cincinnati a
God.
B+. I like the moves they've made this season. Gesicki and Zach Moss, I think, are huge for them. All right, Cleveland. This team did a lot of things in free agency. I know one of my friends, Noel, is very happy about what Cleveland has done. Signed quarterback Jameis Winston, who apparently said he still views himself as a starter. That'll be interesting. Wide receiver Jerry Jeudy acquired from Denver in a trade for a 5th and 6th round pick. Signed tight end Adam Troutman. Signed offensive guard Michael Dunn. Re-signed Zadarius Smith. And signed linebacker Jordan Hicks. And other big news with Cleveland. They still have Nick Chubb, but we don't know if he's going to be the same player after that freak injury that he had, if we're being completely honest. So they have them. They had a very, 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 very good off season. So Oliver, what do you think about what Cleveland has done so far, acquiring Jerry Jeudy and Jameis Winston to back up Deshaun Watson?
Okay, we're back on the phone. I don't know what's going on with Riverside today. I'll figure it out for next pod. But the Browns, I like what they're doing. I do think the fact that Deshaun Watson is very prone to injury, I think bringing in Jameis for that kind of role is a very smart decision on their end. I do like Jameis Winston in that spot, but Jerry Jeudy, he's a very solid wide receiver, can complement Amari Cooper very well. And honestly, I think the Browns are setting themselves up for a great season, but I think they truly need Deshaun Watson to stay healthy and to get back to his form that he was at in, say, 2018, 2019, before the whole, thing went down. So I will say I think they're setting themselves up, and Stefanski's a great coach. If I had to give them a grade, I would probably say like A-. Like they're kind of killing it right now. So
they are. Well, the question for you: will Nick Chubb be the same player he was ever after that injury? That is such a terrible injury, man. And we've seen running backs, and they, especially with how much they run Chubb into the dirt. Do you really think that Chubb is going to be the same running back?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I do think that having Jerome Ford in the backfield is definitely going to help them. Having Kareem Hunt, I don't know if he's still on the roster or
He's a
not.
free agent, so he hasn't re-signed with them yet, but he also hasn't left anywhere yet.
Okay. So if they re-sign Kareem Hunt, then I think that's going to be a very solid backfield. Even if Chubb isn't back to where he was in his prime, I think we're going to see a great kind of development from Jerome Ford and hopefully some help from Kareem Hunt. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I don't know if he'll get back to that, but they have depth. So
Right. Steelers country. Let's weld. Quarterback. Russell Wilson signs a 1-year, $1.29 million contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers also signed linebacker Patrick Queen to a 3-year, $41 million deal. And they acquired Dante Jackson from the Carolina Panthers in exchange for one of their star wide receivers, Deontay Johnson. My opinion, I'm going to give them a B- because I don't think they should have got rid of Deontay. I know they had an attitude problem, but I don't know. He's so talented, I feel like, and him and Pickens were so good together with terrible offensive coordinator and a terrible quarterback. Imagine what they could do with Arthur Smith and Russell Wilson. But that we'll never get to see it because it'll only be Pickens and Freiermuth. Thoughts, Oliver?
yeah, I like what the Steelers did. I do like the fact that they brought in Russ to help in with that quarterback room. I I was watching First Take earlier today, or was it yesterday? And they mentioned that, or they were talking about which one was the bigger move. Was it Kirk to Atlanta or Russell Wilson to Pittsburgh? And everyone was saying it's Kirk to Atlanta. But Stephen A. Smith, the Steelers fan of the group, was saying, look, the Steelers went 10-7 with Kenny Pickett throwing 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Having someone like Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl champion, an all-pro, a Pro Bowler coming in, and who just came off a season where he wasn't bad. He was playing for a coach that hated him and an organization that hated him. And he threw for 26 touchdowns and what, like 5-6 interceptions? Like, the Steelers are scary to me. Like, with Russell Wilson coming in, like, that is a super scary squad. And what they picked up on defense, like,
They might
I
be
don't
the
know,
best
man.
defense in the league this year, bro. They might be better than
They
San
could
Fran and Cleveland and Baltimore.
easily. I think at this point you can't say. I mean, maybe the Chiefs. The Chiefs might have an argument, but I don't even think they're close to what the Steelers are right now. I agree with you on that. I think the Steelers are set up to make a run, but it all depends on Russ. It really does, because if Russ is not performing and Mike Tomlin does not use him the way he's supposed to, then I can't see it going anywhere. But you need
Arthur
Russ to
Smith.
kind of have that
Arthur
production.
Smith, not Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin he don't care about no
That's
offense.
true. That's
But
true. That's true.
the Pittsburgh defense has around 6 players that can make a Pro Bowl this upcoming year, bro. TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr. Dante Jackson's not a world beater. He probably won't ever make a Pro Bowl, but that dude is a good cornerback. Tell me that. And I don't think they're going to keep Patrick Peterson, but he's a smart veteran guy who can guard slot wide receivers. If you try to put him with someone speedy, it's over with. It's barbecue chicken. But that is a freaking amazing defense, bro. An amazing just roster wise. You could put them up there with San Fran, if I'm being completely, or Philadelphia. Philadelphia was overrated. I don't know. They were supposed to have an amazing defense this past year, and they just didn't come together for them. But all right, Pittsburgh. Now, AFC South, Houston. Oh my gosh, this might be my favorite. If the Patriots all died on a plane, this would be my next favorite team, the Houston Texans. If the New England Patriots just disappeared as a franchise, oh my God, I love Houston. They got running back Joe Mixon in a trade with Cincinnati. Great pickup. They got tight end Dalton Schultz re-signed to a 3-year, $36 million deal. Great pickup. Re-signed Danico Autry. Great pickup. Got Daniil Hunter from Minnesota, who was top 3 in the league in sacks last year on a 2-year, $50 million deal. Got linebacker Aziz Al-Shair from San Francisco on a 3-year, $34 million deal. Cornerback Mike Ford, cornerback Lonnie Johnson, cornerback Desmond King, and cornerback Jeff Okuda from Atlanta, a former top 10 pick. Signed safety Eric Murray, and signed kicker Kaimi Fairbairn. Talk to me, Oliver. What do you think about Houston?
I think Houston's in a great spot. I think they could have had Saquon, which would have been even bigger. There was a lot of rumblings of Saquon going to Houston. But I think that they did a great job. They have a very, very good offense. Tank Dell's going to come back. Nico Collins is going to come back. They have Devin Singletary left, but they're going to have a lot of dudes on that offense. And obviously, year 2 of CJ Stroud after what we saw last year is going to be something different, man. It's going to be, I think it's going to be even better than what we saw last year, which is scary to think. The fact that he won a playoff game, broke all the rookie records like known to man, and he's only in year 1. So going into year 2, there's going to be high expectations, but will I expect a somewhat of a sophomore slump from CJ? Maybe, but I think that you can expect the best from him, and the roster they're building around him right now is arguably one of the best in the AFC. I'm telling you, man, the AFC is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be an absolute just like throwing stones at everybody, because I don't know what it is about this conference. It's becoming like the Western Conference in the NBA. You know how it was like a few years ago when the West was just so good.
It was like the East, 8th seed. Bro, the 8th seed was like what, 48 and like 28
right,
to finish the season.
And they could have been the 2 seed in the East. Yeah,
I know, it is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, it's the AFC is gonna get like that, and it kind of was like that last year. Like you had 10-win teams as wild card teams, and I think the lowest seeded in the NFC was what was it? The 9 and 8? Was it 9 and 8 made the playoffs in the NFC? Like that's crazy to me. So the AFC is getting dangerous, man. It's going to be a hard conference to get out of, but it's the Chiefs until further notice. But it's still tough. It's tough out there in the AFC.
Yep. All right, Houston. What do you grade? What grade do you give them?
Probably a B, just a solid B.
All right, Indianapolis. We're going to start going a bit quicker here with some of these, unless it's some really big. Signed quarterback Joe Flacco about an hour ago. One-year deal. Resigned Michael Pittman, Tyquan Lewis, Grover Stewart, Zaire Franklin, Kenny Moore, and Rigoberto Sanchez. Doesn't move the needle for me. Doesn't move the needle. Jacksonville acquired Mac Jones via trade for 2024 first-round pick. Running back Dearness Johnson. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't trade for a first-round pick. Running back Dearness Johnson. Wide receiver, your favorite, Gabe Davis. Wide receiver Devin Duvernay off Baltimore. Offensive lineman Blake Hance, Ezra Cleveland, Mitch Morse from Buffalo. 2 Buffalo players heading down there to Jacksonville. Josh Allen, not that Josh Allen, but re-signed edge Josh Allen, Ronald Darby, and Darnell Savage. They also got rid of Calvin Ridley. So, thoughts on Jacksonville?
I don't know what they're cooking, bro. I really don't. Like, is Gabe Davis going to be wide receiver 1?
No, Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk?
Yes.
That's tough to rely on him to be a wide receiver 1.
Look at his stats.
Like he was not great last year. I can assure you that because he was on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
he was not good, bro.
Great, but the year before last year, Christian Kirk was a dog.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't know what they're cooking, bro. I really don't.
They're cooking.
I really don't.
Banana sausage and baked beans. That's what they're cooking.
They're cooking something, bro. They're cooking a British breakfast at this point.
I think they're due. I think they're due this year to go. I think they go 6-11 this year. I think they played
6-11. You don't think they even have a 500 record?
Not a shot, bro. Not with Houston in this division, and not with the healthy Anthony Richardson in this division.
That's true. Forgot about that.
And we'll see how Will Levis progresses. with Tony Pollard and Calvin Ridley. Speaking of Tennessee, signed quarterback Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, 1-year deal, $3.62 million. Running back Tony Pollard, 3-year, $24 million contract. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley, 4 years,
What are they doing?
$92 million. Lloyd Cushenberry, Kenneth Murray, Chidobe Awuzie, Nick Folk. He's still playing, ladies and gents. He is still playing. And long snapper Morgan Cox. They still have DeAndre Hopkins. So is it
Pause.
DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley season, and down there in or up there in Memphis, Tennessee, with Tony Pollard coming out the backfield?
Man, I don't know what the Titans
They're
are doing,
sorry
bro.
team. Whoever their
I,
GM
I
is terrible.
my question is, what is Calvin Ridley thinking, bro? Like, I
He
get
don't
it.
want to
Will
win.
Levis has promise. Will Levis has promise. I will fully admit that. But like, he's not a proven star by any means of the imagination. And we all know that Tennessee is where, as you said earlier to me, wide receivers go to die in Tennessee. AJ
They
Brown
always
left,
go to
bro.
die.
AJ Brown left the gulag and became one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL when he left Tennessee. And DeAndre Hopkins comes and he just falls off the planet. And like Calvin Ridley, it's like, I don't know what he's doing, bro. Like, he had other options that he could have
If I'm
easily.
a
He
wide
could have just.
receiver, if I'm a wide receiver and I'm in this upcoming draft and Tennessee's on the clock, I'm pissing my pants. I'm praying to God they don't draft me up there with Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Traylon Burks. Gosh, I'm praying that they do not draft me at all. Yeah, I give them an F. Their splash was Tony Pollard. Well, actually, their splash is Calvin Ridley, but before that, it was Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard is not good. He's gonna be benched by the end of the year. Promise you.
Yeah,
Broncos
I agree.
country. They let go of a lot of key pieces. They let go of Justin Simmons. They let go of who else did they let go of? They let go of some really good players on their team, man. I'll have to research and see later. But they re-signed kicker Will Lutz, Malcolm Roach, Brandon Jones, PJ Locke, and Michael Burton. Nothing. And they traded Jerry Jeudy away. If anything, they got worse.
Are they trying to draft a quarterback? Is that what they're going for here?
I don't know, bro. Honestly, I think Sean Payton truly believes that Jarrett Stidham is going to be their quarterback this upcoming year.
All right, let's move on. The Broncos pissed me off.
If the Broncos get Justin Fields, he can make it interesting, but I feel like that roster in Denver is not any better than the roster in Chicago, especially after the moves that Chicago's made. All right, Kansas City signed tight end Irv Smith from Cincinnati. Re-signed Chris Jones to a monster 5-year, $158 million contract with 101 guaranteed. Oh my gosh. Signed linebacker Drew Tranquil. Tagged L'Jarius Sneed, signed defensive back Deion Bush, and signed the punt god Matt Ariza. Let go of Tommy Townsend, send him down there to Houston. So, Mr. Mintz, is this the year that the Chiefs finally go down?
They still don't have wide receiver depth.
And they didn't last year.
They didn't last year,
but they won the Super Bowl. And the year before that, they had no depth. And they won the Super Bowl, bro. It doesn't make no sense. It's so stupid. Patrick Mahomes could be throwing to me and you out there, Oliver. And
I know, bro. That's the thing. It's mind-boggling at this point. But
they got T. Kelsey, and they got Taylor Swift and the commissioner on their side.
Okay, but here's my question: what is Mahomes going to do when Kelsey retires? Because he's getting up there in age. He ain't young. He's almost 30. I think he is 30. If I'm not mistaken.
I think Travis is going to retire soon. But that's when you go out there and you get them washed up wide receivers.
I guess.
Them old heads. All right. I think the Chiefs, their biggest thing for them resigning Chris Jones was huge. I honestly don't think that's an overpay for Chris Jones because I think he's arguably the second best player on Kansas City over Travis Kelce because that dude is so crucial to what they do on defense, man. He literally holds that defense together. It's so crazy how much of an impact. He has an Aaron Donald-esque type impact on that defense. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders signed quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 2-year, $25 million deal. Signed running back Amir Abdullah. Andre James, center. Christian Wilkins from Miami.
Yep.
And I believe they also had one more move. I forgot which one it was. But what do you think of those moves that I mentioned so far? Oh, they traded Josh Jacobs to Green Bay.
They did trade Josh Jacobs. I like where they're going.
They cut Hunter Renfrow as well.
Yes, but they need a wide receiver, or excuse me, they need a quarterback. I don't know what I'm thinking here. They need a quarterback.
Adams ain't no scrub.
That's what I'm sorry. I meant to say quarterback. They definitely need a quarterback. Whether that's upcoming in the draft, I would look. I don't know what pick they have in their first round. I'm pretty sure it's a later pick. It's not something that's super like top 5 or anything. Am I wrong about that?
I think they picked 9th.
They picked 9th. That's within quarterback range. I would look at a Drake May possibility. Bo Nix, Michael Penix, one of those 3 guys.
JJ McCarthy?
Dude, I'm tired of this. Can I get on my soapbox for like 5 seconds here?
Yeah.
I'm getting sick and tired of
about JJ McCarthy.
Bro, why do we keep rewarding quarterbacks that are mid and win national championships? Have we seen what happened with Mac Jones? Do we not remember
Bennett. Stetson
Bennett. Let's not forget about this. Like, Mac Jones just got traded for a pack of gum and a box of donut holes, bro. Like, I swear, like we're not. I just don't get it. Like, JJ McCarthy has done nothing on the field besides hand the ball off and throw easy slant routes. Like, that's his entire job at Michigan, was just doing that. And Mac Jones had wide receivers that were all worldly. Like, we clearly know that these guys aren't going to be good. And it's the same thing that happened to Mac Jones. Same thing. Oh, he's rising up draft boards. He's going to be a top 5 pick. Like, stop it. We know who the best quarterbacks are. It's Caleb Williams. It's Jaden Daniels. I would even argue Michael Penix is better than him. It's Drake May. It's Bo Nix. It's those 5 guys. And in no way is JJ McCarthy ever going to be a superstar quarterback. You can bookmark it. You can clip this. I don't care. We might post it on social media. It's not happening. It's not. Like, I'm just tired of it.
Wow. What if he goes to San Francisco?
Oh, God. I mean, he'll be like a 10-time champion at that point.
I know, right? Yeah, so I think rumor has it that Jaden Daniels and Antonio Pierce have a mutual interest in that the Raiders are going to try to do whatever they can to try to get Jaden Daniels. But let's not forget, the Raiders have a solid roster, and their defense got way better. They signed a lot of other good defensive pieces besides Christian Wilkins. I forget who they signed, but they did sign a couple other pieces. All right, L.A. From Harbaugh to Harbaugh, Gus Edwards goes from Baltimore to the L.A. Chargers to play with John Harbaugh's brother. Tight end Will Dissly, 3 or $14 million deal. Safety Alohi Gilman.
That Dissly, okay, I will say this. That Dissly deal is going to be pretty massive in hindsight when we look back at it. That dude is one of the best run blocking tight ends and lead blocking tight ends in the league.
Where did he play?
I'm telling you,
did he play?
He was on Seattle. Yeah, he was on Seattle. That dude is a very good blocking tight end. Watch out. I'm telling you, that's going to be a huge move for them.
Yeah, but who's coming out the backfield for them? Not Austin Eckler.
Isaiah Spiller.
Oh, my God. Isaiah Spiller? Give me a break.
Isn't that his name? Yeah.
Yes. Isaiah Spiller and Gus Edwards. What a running back duo that is. Oh, my gosh. It strikes fear to me. Oh, they cut Mike Williams, by the way. He's out of there.
Yes.
They got a washed up, what's his name, out of TCU?
Quentin Johnston. Give me a break.
Quentin Johnston. He's washed.
That dude pisses me off.
They cut. Who did they cut? Or they got rid of Eric Kendricks. They cut somebody on defense. Khalil Mack resigned.
Yeah.
Bosa's still there. They cut J.C. Jackson in the middle of the last season. I think the Chargers are not going to be that good this year, man. They need more. And losing Eckler was huge. You say what you want about running back market, but he was huge for that team. Oh, they could triple team.
It truly depends on what they do in the draft, because they have a pretty decent draft position. And if they trade out which I could see them doing, because they're not in desperate need of anything, really. They're not in desperate need of a quarterback. They're not in desperate need of a wide receiver. So I could easily see them trading out and getting some pieces for
They're at
that.
5 right now. They're at 5.
Yeah. So I could see them easily trading that pick and just getting a haul of other picks or players or whatever it might be. Especially if it's in position for one of those top quarterbacks, I think it could be interesting what they do there.
What about an O-line, man? You don't think they could use a good O-lineman? Because look what happened to Herbert last year, man. He was getting pissed during games because his O-line, besides Slater, they could not block for him, bro. What if they get Latham out of Alabama?
That's what I was just about to say. J.C. Latham might be good for them,
Yeah.
but they could go that way. But O linemen are everywhere. I just think that you can find a good O lineman anywhere at this point.
I don't think Joe Burrow would agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, well, that's his front office's problem, not ours.
All right. Dallas Cowboys. New York Giants signed quarterback Drew Lock. Traded for running back Devin. Oh no, they signed Devin Dingleberry. Wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie. OT Jermaine Illuminor. OG John Runyon. Ooh, this was a huge deal for them. Signed edge or Brian Burns via trade with Carolina. Carolina keeps getting fleeced. Oh my God. They're such a poverty franchise. It's so funny. They keep getting fleeced. They got Burns, and all that New York had to give up was a second and fifth round pick. Not even a first rounder. Not even a first round pick that they gave up for Brian Burns. What do you think of New York, man? Well, let me go first. I don't think they got better. I don't think they got worse. Yeah, they lost Saquon, but they got a lot better on defense. Let's not forget they signed Isaiah Simmons from Arizona last year. They acquired him via trade. That's a good defense. Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Isaiah Simmons. I think where did Xavier McKinney go? He just went somewhere.
I don't know.
But
yeah, so
they got some good players, man, but that offense is going to be Brian Daboll can't save that offense. I'm sorry. He's not going to be where did Ken Dorsey go? I heard he just signed with the team as their OC.
The Browns.
Oh, that's key. They're gonna make Deshaun Watson look like the second coming of Josh Allen. I'm telling you.
Bro, did you see what? No, stop. Did you see what Ken Dorsey did to Josh Allen? No, let's not. No. By God, no. Stop it. They fired Ken Dorsey for a reason.
Yeah, because they needed somebody to bail him out for the terrible losses they were having. All right.
Well, you saw what happened when Joe Brady went in there. That's all I have to say.
Oh, give me a break. Joe Brady, Joe Schmrady. Who cares? What do you think? What do you think about the Giants? I think they're just irrelevant, honestly.
If they draft JJ McCarthy, they're dead to me. They're just dead. Like, I'm not buying into it because they're thinking about drafting him, which is wild to me because it's like, oh my God, we just drafted one mid quarterback coming off the most mid quarterback I've ever seen in my life, and Daniel Jones. Like, I just don't know what they're going to do unless they get their hands on unless they get like Jaden Daniels or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the damn Giants are doing with their lives. But
rest in peace, the Giants. They'll always be irrelevant. Philadelphia acquired running back Saquon Barkley, 3-year, $40 million deal. Tight end Albert Uwegbunam, OG Landon Dickerson. Brandon Graham re-signed on a 1-year deal. Surprisingly, I thought he was definitely done. Signed edge Bryce Huff, linebacker Zach Bond, linebacker Julian Okwara. Signed cornerback CJ Gardner-Johnson rejoined the team after a short stint in Detroit, signing a 3-year deal to $33 million. Re-signed kicker Jake Elliott. Signed punter Braden Mann. Signed long snapper Rick Lovato. Jason Kelsey retired. And they traded DeAndre Swift to Chicago. So
I like it. I like what they're doing, though. I really do. Getting Saquon to help Jalen Hurts out is going to be huge. I mean, people are going to say Jalen Hurts is not the same, which is fair. He had a great season a couple years ago. But I don't think Jalen Hurts is done. I think Jalen Hurts is still easily in his prime. He didn't have a bad year by any means last year. He actually had a pretty decent year. But everyone just wants to say, because they didn't do as well as they were supposed to, that Jalen Hurts isn't a top 10 quarterback. And stop it. Like, Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in this league, 100%. But it's just a matter of getting help for him. And Saquon is huge. Having Saquon in that building is going to help him develop, help him get the ball out, help him just, if he needs a break, just hand it off to one of the best running backs in the league. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but their defense needed some shoring up, and it seems like they did that. So
they also signed, who did they sign? Let me see. Devontae Parker to a 1-year deal. So I'm assuming that means Julio Jones is not coming back.
No, probably not.
All right. Oh, another team that I think Magic Johnson and Josh Harris have their fingerprints written all over. It might be time for you to become a Redskins fan again, Oliver. They have done.
No, stop it.
No.
What are they doing?
Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. I'll get through this quick because I know this is a long episode. Signed quarterback Marcus Mariota. What does that tell you? Who is Marcus Mariota backed
that they're
up?
Drafting.
That they're probably going to draft Jaden Daniels.
I mean, yeah, that's always been well known that they're going to draft a quarterback. Yeah.
Even though I want them to draft Drake May, so I don't have to be stuck with another Zach Wilson, Mac Jones 2.0, and Drake May. But that's another story. Running back Austin Eckler, 2-year deal, $12 million. That is a great, that is not an overpay at all. If anything, that's an underpay for Austin Eckler's production. 2 years, $11.43 million, not bad at all.
Dude, stop it. Did you watch Austin Eckler last year? He was
hurt a lot of the year, man. He was hurt a lot of the year.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. He's old, and he's not the same.
Oh.
He's not. That's an overpay, bro. That's a massive overpay.
No, it is not. 2 years?
And who did they sign? Bobby Wagner? Like, what?
Wait,
what are they doing?
They need some. Oh my gosh, dude, you're crazy. Tight end Zach Ertz.
My God, world changer.
Guard Nick Allegretti from Kansas City. Center Tyler Biadasz from Dallas. Edge Dorrance Armstrong from Dallas. Edge Clelin Ferrell. Linebacker Frankie Louvu. He was a great linebacker. Bobby Wagner. Jeremy Chin from Carolina. I remember he was a first round pick for them a couple years back. Kicker Brandon McManus. Big time kicker for them. Long snapper Tyler Ott. Let's not forget, bro. They still got Terry McLaurin. They still got Jahan Dotson. They got some dogs on their team now. They still got. Oh, they traded Deron Payne. No, they still have Deron.
They did, yeah.
No, they traded Montez Sweat and Chase Young, but they still got Deron Payne. That's a big dog back there to anchor that defense. With a washed Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu. I mean, come on now. They got some.
Not buying it.
Dorrance Armstrong.
Just not buying it, man. I'm not.
I just time. You don't think it'll be RG3 2.0 with Jane Daniels coming in and throwing to Terry McLaurin?
No.
And Austin Eckler?
No, they're not winning that division. They're just not. Stop it, Isaiah. You're gaslighting yourself.
They're not winning the division. Agreed. They're not winning the division. I understand that. But you don't think they're going to be significantly better?
Significantly. Define significantly. Like 3-4 games?
That is a significant upgrade. Yeah, they won 4 games last year.
I was just asking for your definition.
Yeah, I think I could see them winning 7 or 8 games. And that's impressive,
like
considering that Dallas and Philly are in your division.
They won, how many games did they win last year? Like 5, 6?
They won 4.
I thought they went 6-11. Or they go 4 and whatever.
4-13.
4-13. Okay, they can win 6 games, sure. I mean, what does 6 games get you in this league, bro?
If the Buffalo
Absolutely
Bills
nothing.
Because if the Buffalo Bills would have signed Austin Eckler, Tyler Biadasz, Nick Allegretti, Dorrance Armstrong, Bobby Wagner, you'd be sucking Bobby Wagner off for the rest of the stream. Stop it.
No, I wouldn't because he's
Frankie
old.
Luvu and Jeremy Chin to replace Jordan Poyer. Oh my God!
Stop. Time out. Absolutely not. I would know Bobby Wagner would not be a starter at linebacker. I think Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano are both substantially better than him at this point in their careers. I would not be losing my mind over Austin Eckler because we have James Cook. So no, I am not by any means. I feel way better than any Commanders fan out there. Like I just don't think that why are we even talking about them? They're gonna win 6 games and it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be all happy at FedEx Field and they'll be okay. You know, they have Austin Eckler. Good for them. But I traded that man off of my fantasy team as soon as possible. So
you're so sad. Here we go. Brett Ripien, Chicago Bears 1-year contract. Signed DeAndre Swift. Signed offensive lineman Ryan Bates from Buffalo. O-line Matt Pryor. Tight end Gerald Everett from LA. A linebacker Amen Agbanabuna. Cornerback Jalen Johnson re-signed a 4-year deal. Safety Kevin Byard from Philadelphia, 2-year, $15 million. Signed Simone Biles' husband to a 2-year deal. And long snapper Patrick Scales. And they still have Justin Fields on the roster.
they need to trade him. Like, oh my God, I'm getting tired of this.
England.
I really am.
Trade him to New England. If we can't get Jaden Daniels, please give us Justin Fields.
Actually, you know what team I think would be interested in Justin Fields and should be making the phone call?
Denver.
Las Vegas. No, Las Vegas. Las Vegas with Devontae and with Samir White emerging, I think that could be a crazy offense. And I think he would fit well within that offense. And I think Antonio Pierce is a great coach. So I think Las Vegas might be the place for Justin Fields, but it's just a matter if the Bears if they just stop running in circles and just let this man be. I mean, he's talented. He's very talented. And we need to stop this notion that he's not good enough to win. It's the fact that he's really played
talented. You know who else was really talented? Phillip Rivers.
Well, he was stuck in purgatory.
You know who else was really talented? Dan Marino.
True. But he's literally in quarterback purgatory in Chicago right now. Like, they have done absolutely nothing to help him.
Excuse me? Did you forget about the GOAT, Kyle Orton, that played and was the greatest quarterback for Chicago ever? And what about Jay Cutler? Excuse me, are we just going to disregard the 2 QB legends that have ran through Chicago?
My apologies. How could I ever?
Don't forget those guys. Come on now. Nathan Peterman? Are we going to forget the 6-pick game? Come on now. Let's not forget about Nathan Peterman. I feel bad for them. I think they're going to draft Caleb, though. They got to, because Ryan Poles is going to get fired if they don't draft Caleb.
All right, can we talk about the Vikings and the Packers?
What about the Lions?
The Lions are going to be fine.
Oh, yeah, the Lions will be fine. Yeah, they didn't get any big-time signings. I mean, Marcus Davenport from New Orleans maybe, but all right. Packers, oh, my God, they had a good free agency so far. Running back Josh Jacobs, 4-year, $48 million deal. Extreme overpay, if you ask me, but they're desperate. Tight end Tyler Davis, cornerback Corey Ballantyne, cornerback / returner Keshawn Nixon, and safety Xavier McKinney. He went to Green Bay. But they did lose Owens from Simone Biles' husband, and I think he was a good player for them. I don't know if Jair is still playing or if he's going to retire or what.
I don't know.
But they still have, as of now, he's still on their roster. And they cut David Bakhtiari. Huge loss for them, I feel like, because when he's healthy, he's one of the great O-linemen in the league. So they cut him. And then apparently A.J. Dillon, they gave him permission to seek a trade. Let me get on my soapbox before you do. The disrespect to Aaron Jones after he dropped a 3-touchdown game against the Dallas Cowboys, after he's been loyal to that team year after year through Aaron Rodgers, he stayed for Jordan Love. It is ridiculous that they would go out there and sign somebody like Josh Jacobs when they already have Aaron Jones, who's more of a dual threat, more like an Alvin Kamara type back. And you're going to get a one-dimensional back? You already have one of those. That's what you have A.J. Dillon for. And that's what you have him for in the goal line situations. You have Aaron Jones to get you down the field, and then you have A.J. Dillon, if need be, to punch it in with his Big ass quads. But bro, the disrespect to Aaron Jones is mind boggling to me. I don't know why they didn't want to pay him. He's a game changer. I saw that game in Dallas. He could not be guarded. That dude is really, really good. And he's getting old, I understand. But Josh Jacobs is a couple months younger. Like, are we being for real here? Like, you just traded out 1A for a 1A for a 1A. Stupid, but those are my thoughts.
Yeah, it's a lateral move, it seems. It's nothing like an upgrade or anything like that. But I like where the Packers are at. I really do. I think Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback in this league. I think, what, you want to debate this? You want to debate this?
Jordan Love is not a top 10 quarterback in this league, bro. He's
All right,
not.
who would you take over him? All right, who would you take over him?
Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow,
Okay.
Josh Allen,
Okay.
Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson, Justin Herbert.
Yeah. That's 5. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Trevor Lawrence.
Stop it. No, I wouldn't.
What? Whoa. A number 1
I would
pick?
not.
Really?
Yes. Did you see the year he had last year? He was terrible.
Wow. Matt Stafford. I would take Matt Stafford over him.
I wouldn't.
Wow. You don't think Matt Stafford
Nope.
is a great quarterback still?
No.
Matt Stafford could play.
Oh, wait. No, he's a good quarterback. He isn't better than Jordan Love.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Not at the moment. Absolutely not. No.
Caleb Williams?
All right, keep going.
Caleb
No,
Williams?
stop it. He hasn't played a snap in the NFL.
Okay.
No.
CJ Stroud. That's 8.
You could argue that, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean you could argue? CJ Stroud is a better quarterback.
Look, we don't know. We only have 1 year to take on both of them. But go ahead. I would probably take Stroud over him, though.
I still think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than
No, stop it. He killed Dak Prescott in his own house.
Jalen Hurts.
I would probably take Jalen.
See, bro,
But
that's
we'll
9
see.
already. That's 9.
Yeah, he could be 10.
And I haven't even said Marcus Mariota yet. Jared Goff.
Ooh, that one's tough.
No,
that one's
that's
really
not
tough.
Jared Goff
No, it
played
is tough.
elite. He played elite these past 2 years. Elite, bro. That dude played lights out. And let's not forget he took the Rams to a Super Bowl.
Okay, so are we fringe top 10ing Jordan Love? Fringe.
Okay, Kirk Cousins.
I would argue
Kirk Cousins is better. Oliver. Wow.
Isaiah, I'm gonna need you to stop smoking whatever you're consuming.
Wow.
Because that is an insane take. Kirk Cousins is not better than Jordan Love. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Bro, this man took this team to damn near an NFC championship. He made one silly goose mistake at the end. I'm so sorry. Can't doubt the guy in his first year who almost went to an NFC championship.
Yeah, you can when you consider how weak the NFC is.
Oh, so what? Baker should have made the NFC championship?
He should have. Baker deserved to be there. I don't care what nobody says. Baker deserved to be in the Super Bowl and win it. And give the middle finger to everybody. Bro, do I look like I'm wasted right now?
Yes, you do. You've been yawning too. You've been drinking tonight?
No, I haven't. I'm just tired. I've been doing a lot today. Okay, Minnesota signed quarterback Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones from Green Bay, Brandon Powell, Johnny Munt, David Questenberry, Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Bullard, Blake Cashman, and John Parker Romo.
I like the Aaron Jones pickup. There's a lot of in-division moves here, which is kind of interesting.
Everybody's giving each other the middle finger. That's why.
Yeah. But Sam Darnold, what the hell? Like, what
happened to
Justin
Kellen
Jefferson? Yeah, I don't know. But Justin Jefferson has to be shitting his pants right now.
Rumor has it that that Jay Jett they're working a deal to get him to Cincinnati.
I would cry. I would legitimately cry.
That would break the internet, bro. Cincinnati would be an automatic Super Bowl. Automatic.
Yeah.
I don't care
if
Joe Burrow gets injured. Jake Browning could take him though. Could take him there.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't, bro. He played good football.
Yeah, he was not bad
So what do you
at
think
all.
about Minnesota, man?
If they get a quarterback, they'll be fine. But Sam Darnold is not going to do it for you. So
Bo Nix. Rumor has it that Bo Nix, that would be a great landing spot for him in Minnesota, throwing to Jay Jettis. Who wouldn't love that job as a quarterback?
I've also heard JJ McCarthy, which
Oh, that's a failure. Might as well draft
oh
Spencer
man,
Rattler while we're at it.
yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Oh God,
We're almost done
are we in our
here.
last division?
Yes, NFC South. Atlanta Falcons signed quarterback Kirk Thuggins, 4-year, $180 million contract, $50 million signing bonus, $100 million guaranteed. That's an extreme underpay to me. He deserved way more than that. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney from Chicago, tight end Charlie Warner, and long snapper Liam McCullough.
I mean, Kirk is going to help them get to at least a playoff game.
Yeah, they'll win the
Will he win
division.
them?
They'll win the
I
division.
don't know
Stop.
I don't know if it's secured. You can't really say that now with Baker being there. Baker's a solid quarterback. You can't really say that.
Yeah, he's a solid quarterback, and Kirk's a solider quarterback.
Well, that, and they also have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. What are we saying here, Isaiah? You can't say that they're a lock to win the division, but Kirk definitely helps them. And I would see that Vegas is probably favoring them to win that division. But I don't know. I like Baker a lot, and he's younger, and I think they have probably more weapons, arguably, maybe. Who knows? But I don't know. Rashad White, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I don't know.
They lost
I
Jared,
do.
though.
Yeah, that's true. But I do like the Buccaneers still to win the division, but it's just a matter of how much is Kirk going to help. I think he'll be he's going to be an upgrade from Desmond Ritter, obviously, but it's just how much.
Kyle Pitts breakout fantasy season incoming. I have him on my roster.
Also, are we forgetting that Kirk is coming off an Achilles? Like,
oh my
that's
God,
going to have an effect.
Nobody cares. You're acting like this dude plays like Lamar Jackson. He doesn't.
He's
a
old.
pure pocket passer.
Also, what is his record in the playoffs? Excuse me, it's like 1-4. Like, we act like this dude is a game changer. Stop it. He's not.
He beat the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, God.
With the Minneapolis Miracle. That basically counts as 2 playoff victories.
Wait, no. He was hurt. Case Keenum was the quarterback in that game. You dodo, bro. Stop, bro.
Atlanta will be a top 3 seed. Watch, mark my words. They're going to be top 3. I remember how high I was on Atlanta last year. I said, don't be surprised if they get good quarterback play. Bro, I wanted Justin Fields to go to Atlanta so bad.
Yeah, I did too.
I think Kirk Cousins honestly should have gone to either LA. I mean, not LA, Las Vegas, or he should have gone to Pittsburgh. Those 2 teams, throwing a Devontae. Oh my God, dude. I think he should have gone there. Because
I agree.
Atlanta's so young, and you want, like, I don't know. I feel like Fields.
You want a youth revolution, but
yeah, I know. All right, Carolina signed OG Robert Hunt from Miami.
Move on.
Wait, what about Deontay Johnson?
That's all right.
I seen a post on Instagram. ESPN had the audacity to post it. It said, Carolina Panthers stocking up on weapons for Bryce Young. And it's a picture of Bryce Young, Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Adam Thielen, and Deontay Johnson. And everybody in the comments is like, whoever posted this, fire them, because they did not get Bryce. They did not get Bryce anything.
Hey, don't sleep on Chuba though. I like Chuba a lot.
I don't give a damn about Chuba. New Orleans Saints re-signed Demario Davis, signed Willie Gay, and re-signed safety Tyrann Mathieu. Thoughts?
Nah.
Yeah,
they still Derek Carr as their quarterback, so
they're coming in 4th place in the division easily. Well, you remember when he had the Panthers winning the division last year?
Obviously, I thought Bryce Young was more than what he is.
He can't do anything behind that O-line. Brady couldn't do anything behind that. Mahomes couldn't do anything behind that O-line if you put him back there. Baker Mayfield. Bro, I feel so bad for Bryce Young. I hope he has a better season this year. Resign Baker Mayfield through a 3-year, $100 million deal. Supreme overpay, if you ask me. Chase Edmonds, Mike Evans re-signed, Greg Gangs, Levante David, 1-year deal, Jordan Whitehead, 2-year, $9 million deal. Antoine Winfield received the franchise tag and signed kicker Chase McLaughlin.
They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
I think
They will be a playoff team, in my opinion. I think they'll have a better season. Honestly, I think they'll have a better season than they did this past year, which could be an NFC Championship appearance. We'll see. But I think Baker needs to just improve off of what he did last year because he had a great year. Probably his best year as a football player was last year. So I'm here for the Baker Mayfield resurgence, man. I'm on that train. So I'm not bought in on Kirk to Atlanta as much as other people are, but I'm bought in on Baker. I am. So I'm gonna pick them to win that division this year, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, we actually have another division to do.
Oh God, what did we miss? We missed the
NFC West.
West. Yeah. We're almost
Arizona.
done.
DJ Dallas, Keith Ishmael, Tristan Colin, Elijah Wilkinson, Jonah Williams, Justin Jones, Chris Barnes, Mac Wilson, Sean Murphy Bunting, Aaron Brewer, and Blake Gilligan.
What team is this again? You said the Seahawks?
No, the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals.
They're washed.
They're done.
Hollywood
Toast.
Brown should not be on an NFL roster. I just want to point that
out. I don't know what they're doing. After they lost D-Hop, it's
LA Rams. Re-signed wide receiver DeMarcus Robinson, signed tight end Colby Parkinson, signed offensive guard Kevin Dodson, Jonah Jackson, and Darius Williams. That's it. That's all they've done.
I do like keeping DeMarcus Robinson, though. He's a solid player. But other than that, I don't know. Hey, he was popping off at the end of last year. He had like a touchdown in I think each of their last 5 or 6 games, something like that. So he was popping. But
San Fran signed quarterback Brandon Allen, let go of quarterback Sam Darnold, signed offensive tackle Colton McKivitz, signed edge Leonard Floyd from Buffalo, right? He played for Buffalo?
He did, yeah.
That's a huge loss for Buffalo, too. Edge Yatur Gross Matos, defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, and special teamer George Odom. They're going
to be fine.
They also re-signed Juszczyk to a huge deal, to the biggest deal in fullback history.
Really? Good for him, honestly. He's a great dude. Great locker room guy, honestly.
Great guy, but we know he doesn't do shit on that team.
It's all right. But they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be contending for the NFC again. So
last and certainly least, the Seattle Seahawks signed tight end Farrell Brown from the New England Patriots. Rest in peace. I'm so sad we gave him up, dude.
Are there more? Did they do anything else?
Noah Fant, Nick Karras. Oh, they got Leonard Williams from New York, the Giants. That's a big pickup.
Yeah, that is right.
What if Justin Fields goes to Seattle and plays 1 year behind Geno before Geno gets cut?
I don't think that's happening. I think what they're going to do is draft Michael Penix. I legitimately think that Michael Penix is going to the Seahawks, and he falls kind of right into their lap. It would make so much sense. First of all, because he's from he went to college in Seattle. He probably lives there right now, and having a year under Geno. That could help him out, man.
That is one of the best takes I've heard that you've
made
on this podcast in a very long. That is a great take.
Thank you.
And I would give you your flowers if that ended up coming to fruition.
I hope they draft him because that's honestly, it's the best fit for him. He has Pete Carroll, he has Tyler Lockett, he has Jackson Smith and Jigba. There are a lot of dudes on that team.
Don't say that too fast.
But there are a lot of dudes on that team, and Kenneth Walker, not to mention, that can help develop him. He's not going to have to do everything on his own, which is good because he's injury prone to an extent. But he's going to be. I think that's a great fit for him, and I think he'll end up being drafted to Seattle. So we'll see. But I hope that's where they end up going. But
yeah.
Other than that, I don't know what they're doing. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. That's all free agency. I think we should stop there.
Woo! Dude, we've been at it for an hour and a half. So
I know it's been a long free agency.
It has. But we'll probably next week. Do you want to do some? Let's do some March Madness. We got the tournament coming, and the brackets coming out on Sunday, so we could break that down. Maybe have our good old friend Mr. Tim come on and give us some insight.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
He's
ask him
big.
what he thinks about Florida State not being in the college football playoff. That's what I'm gonna ask him. That's my first question.
I would not get him started on that. I would not recommend
You
that.
think he'll be pissed?
Yes, probably. But anyways, we'll probably do that next week. We'll probably have like a full bracket breakdown episode for next week. Sorry about my technical difficulties. I had no, dude. I still don't know. My computer's bugging, but I'm still looking at our stream, and I've been on the stream, so hopefully it's popping up. But yeah, sorry about my technical difficulties. I'll have them back up by the end of or by next week's episode. So,
All righty.
but Isaiah, you want to close us out?
Yeah. Everybody who's potentially watching or going to watch/listen in the future, please send us any feedback, comments, questions that you would like us to answer, and we will get back to you in a very timely manner. Other than that, thank you for joining us on an excellent episode 18 of the Athletic Exchange podcast with Isaiah and Oliver, produced by Mark Gomez Lopez. Until next time, we'll see you again. Goodbye.
Peace.